And welcome back to Spoiler Kings, guys. I'm Bryon the Grizzly here with Tank Kramer. Our next topic is Luther, the Fallen Son. I've been watching Luther since about 2009. The TV series, BBC. I've been searching it out. So to finally get a movie and it be on Netflix and it be that accessible, I was excited.
Yeah. I mean, I didn't know anything about it besides Ezra Miller's in it, So, and it's a character in the series he's been doing. Elba. I'm sorry. Oh my God, we were talking about Ezra Miller. I am so sorry. Idris Elba. Idris Elba is in it, and Idris Elba has been in this series for a long time, like you said. So, it's usually a good sign where a high value actor wants to stick around to something like that. Either he knows he brings value to it or he really enjoys the character. And I think
he enjoys playing. He loves Luther because Luther got swag for days. Though he's depressed and he does not listen to anybody else. He just got swag. He's so cool. And then having this one have the villain be Andy Serkis, I was loving it.
Yeah,
I was so excited.
Yeah.
I pulled up a little synopsis, so I'm going to read this out real quick and just kind of so everyone kind of gets understanding what it is. This is definitely rated R. It's definitely a thriller. And if you want to see the old stuff, it is on Hulu right now. So they're showing all the other seasons on Hulu right now. So real quick, this is what we're going to do with the synopsis. I'm going to read it. It says, a serial killer terrorizes London while disgraced detective John Luther sits behind bars. Haunted by his failure to capture the cyber psychopath who now taunts him, Luther decides to break out of prison to finish the job by any means necessary. And that's what it is. And that's what Luther is. You know anything about Luther? He's going to do it by any means necessary. He does not care about none of your problems. He's going to fix it just because I feel like he's the kind of guy that you put a puzzle in front of him, he has to finish it. If he told you he's going to do something, he has to be a man of his word.
Yeah.
And those are the things that you miss. You miss those things because I've seen all the seasons. I know how his marriage broke up. I know his love for Alice and all stuff. Because if he says something, he's going to follow through. But none of that matters for this movie. I feel like this movie still stands for its own. What do you think about it?
Yeah, man, this movie had some great parts. So I'd never seen any of the Luther series besides the stuff you told me about when we did the trailer reaction, and it sounded interesting, sounded fun. And then watched the movie and I was afraid I'll be lost, but you're not. It's definitely a standalone movie. This is like the only Luther thing you've seen, then you know exactly how it is. And man, it makes me want to go back and watch the shows now. Like it legit, I want to watch the seasons. But I felt like it was like a Batman movie. Very, very like Luther is like Batman / James Bond without the titles. Like he's very menacing, very detective-y. So that's part of me remind me of like Batman kind of stuff.
Film. It's a very noir film. Yeah.
James Bondy, because he was doing a bunch of cool stuff. I don't know, maybe it's just the British accents, but
James Bondy, that's what he does. Yeah,
but it's like James Bond / Batman. Like if this man were to throw on a Batman suit, I can easily believe this is a Batman movie. Easily. Like
he broke out of prison. He looked exactly like Batman breaking out of prison, just beating up people.
The fight scenes were amazing. Oh man, that fight scene with him coming out of the jail was awesome. And it was definitely like, I don't know why. Like that where my head went to right away was like Batman. And him, going through things, calling like being a detective, because he is a detective in the show. But he's not just
a detective. The more you know, the more you realize that he's the best detective. He does not lose. Yeah. He would do whatever. The law is just a guideline to him. That he's a habitual line stepper. They didn't explain like when they found out all the stuff that he's done, how like it was like you're going directly to jail.
Yeah,
because that's what he does. He literally habitually line steps. He just done a lot of bad stuff. Because he's not a good guy, but he's a great detective. And he's a stand-up person. And I think that makes the character even cooler.
Yeah. So it was the action was great. The acting
Obviously,
Idris Elba and Andy Serkis. Well, Andy Serkis was great, and you forget because anytime you hear Andy Serkis, you think of Planet of the Apes and you think of Lord of the Rings. You know, he was Gollum and he was Caesar, and you're like, yeah, okay, whatever. It was like he's so good, man. He's so good, and that's a reason why I'm really pissed off that they killed him in Black Panther. I was like, he could have been a really good bad guy. He was Claw. I'm like, he's good. He's a great actor, and in this one, he was really good. He was really, really good, and I like his. Doesn't he beat? Although his hair looks stupid as shit, but his hair was like very. It's like moving like yeah. I'm assuming that was a wig. I mean, maybe he did grow his hair. I don't know. It was his wig or no wig. His hair was a little funny, but he's so good, man. He's so good, and he just knows how to be evil, like he's not just a bad guy. This guy's evil.
He literally coached people to kill themselves at the time that he wanted them to kill him. Go ahead, jump.
And he used fear. You know, that's why again why it reminded me like Scarecrow kind of thing. You know, he used fear of stuff. So like this whole movie was like.
It was like watching The Batman with a black guy.
Kind of.
Except that being old.
Yeah. It just very, very much like a Batman kind of movie. And it was really good. Andy Serkis crushed it. What's her name? The detective chick.
Cynthia Info.
Yeah. I thought she was really good.
Yeah.
Like you believed her, like when she did certain things and why she did certain things.
Because it made all of it was so good. I thought they just did a good job making the movie, and they stayed true to everyone's character. Was it? I even love the DCS Martin. I think his name is Dermot Crowley. I loved him. He's been trying to find Luther in other movies, but they're just friends. He just, I know what he is. I know how good he is. I'm not going to get in anyone's way. I know what he is, and oh man. My only thing was I did not like seeing Anaya Rain. I thought that they killed her. I thought that they literally strangled her right in front of her mom. I thought that was too much for me. And I can't watch this. And the fact that they didn't, I was like, okay.
Yeah.
But I thought
the daughter.
The daughter. I thought that was too much.
Yeah.
But they didn't, so it was fine.
Yeah. Yeah. I thought it was gonna. I mean, they did a lot of other things that were like a lot. Like
people just jumping off of buildings,
the burning, I guess spoilers and all that, but when towards the end of the movie and they're getting into the house in the middle of like the ice kind of area, and under the water under the ice were all these bodies. I was like, oh my god, like like how he's able to keep these bodies, fresh, for like 11 years, because it was like 11 years to just a year ago, he used these bodies to send a certain message, and they all were like, I don't know, it was really, really cool. Even the house was super cool. The way that whole scene in just a snow desert was super cool.
I mean, it was so well planned out. I mean,
it was.
I love it.
Yeah. Like the motive for Andy Serkis, it's not like a motive where it was like a Joker almost motive. Exactly. It's like like just watching the world burn because my world is so effed, so therefore everyone else's world's got to be.
It was effed. Like he's the dude. I'm going to ruin his life because he's the antithesis of me. Yeah, I'm just going to ruin your life no matter what. Yeah, I thought those are the scariest people, right? Yeah. The ones that just are doing it just because I'm a sociopath. That's just what I am.
Yeah, I think he liked bringing other people down, because the whole thing of putting it on the internet of all this like violence and stuff was like, see, people are bad like me, and that again reminded me of like the Heath Ledger Joker kind of thing. It was like if you give the people the chance to be who they are, they're going to show you that they're evil or bad, and I think that's what he was trying to prove, because the whole Luther thing was, he kept saying like he knows how to tell a person if they're a good person or a bad person. Yep. Like that came up a few times. And Andy Serkis just like he goes, "Oh yeah, I was right next to you. You didn't know I was a bad person, so therefore, you suck at your job and you're a bad person too."
It's funny. It's funny. He's like, and I remember you now.
yeah. But see, I wasn't sure if like he was just being a badass and just like getting him all amped up, But man, yeah, no, like it starts off pretty crazy. It starts off kind of good, and then it gets progressively crazier. But it's like the movie really starts when he gets out of prison.
Yeah.
And all that before that, like the prison scene was awesome. And then the movie really starts, the cat and mouse kind of thing happens. And and then it just escalates to that finale. And that finale was just so good.
I love the way, well, first of all, I hate the way that creator Aldrich came and said, "You made me a promise," knowing he just got arrested like the next minute after he made a promise to her. Like, about you promised me. So I was like, how is he going to do it, lady? It's not he's going to how. But that was the first thing I thought that was stupid. But I love the fact that when he was in prison, the respect the guards had for him, but they had to hide it in order to protect him. The reverence they had for him, they said, "I love this dude." And then the guys that are going after him and chasing after him, he was still a good guy. He was standing next to them. I thought he was going to run off when someone came in. He was going to try to play him off. No, he was there. Like, no, hey, I remember you. Yeah, we gotta make sure you're okay. Hey, let's hold him. Let's get him, keep him alive. Like, he was so good. And he said, and the guy was like, "No, you need to run. Even though I was chasing after you, you need to run because you're the only one that's going to stop him."
Yeah.
That was just so cool.
Yeah. How did everyone respects him?
Yeah.
Yeah. That was super cool. And then so Brandon Davis said, "So I plan on watching this, but I saw this other one he did called Concrete Cowboy, which is another
Concrete Cowboy is amazing too."
Yeah. I think it was Netflix, ain't it?
Yep.
All right.
Yep.
Yeah. I mean, Idris Elba hardly misses him.
Caleb McLaughlin is in that. Method Man is in that. Byron Bowers is in it. Lorraine Toussaint is in it. That's all I can think on top of my head. But yeah, I remember Concrete Cowboy. That was a good one too. But Luther's this series is so good, and this series for people in BBC that love BBC made them want to make him James Bond because he is that good. He is that much swag. And if you guys just watch season 3, him and Alice, season 2, him and Alice are something else.
Yeah.
Wow. Watch season 1, enjoy it for what it is. These are real quick watches. Season 2 is so good. Season 3 with Alice is so good too. Oh my gosh. Like this series is amazing. That's why I'm so happy about this movie. And then the ending of this movie. So now, like, even though he was in prison, he's in prison.
No, it's on Hulu.
It's on Hulu.
It's on Hulu now.
All the seasons are on Hulu right now. The movie is on Netflix right now, but all the seasons are on Hulu.
I wonder how that worked out. It's like, oh, you're gonna get the movie, but the shows are going over here. I don't know. Copyright. It's weird. Yeah.
But I mean, I'm telling you, you're gonna watch it and you're gonna see. I'm telling you, him and Alice, the chemistry between them. Whoa. Oh. But staying on this movie specifically, what'd you think at the end? They're like, "Am I going back?" He's like, "I'm going back to jail." He wakes up and he's like in a house. Like, we can't put you in jail.
Yeah.
007.
Yeah, that's what I got, right? Because that's what they were kind of getting at. Like, he's gonna become like what was it? What do they use over there?
He's almost like MI6 or head
MI6,
of MI6, or be like his own super spy or super detective. Like, he's going to be something even bigger. You can't have him on the streets, but if you want something solved, he's going to solve it. And the baddest ass way ever.
Yeah, because I can see them keep going with it, where it's like, all right, like, he's not going to be 007. He's like, all right, well, I'm going to make Luther a thing.
That's what
and I can see him definitely do it.
People in Great Britain love Luther.
Yeah, I can see why. It's well done. I mean, some of these, England kind of shows like Sherlock, is amazing. It's so good.
It's another thing that he's very like Sherlock.
Yeah,
it's like a mix of all those type of things.
Yeah,
in this one guy.
It is. Yeah, You know, so I can definitely see him. He's like, you know what, keep your 007. I'm gonna make Luther up the thing, the new thing.
Yeah.
You know, because I can see them now. If he does become like this kind of super detective kind of spy kind of like Sherlock kind of person after the movie, you know, if he does another season or another movie, maybe he starts turning these into movies.
He said he's never going to close the door on Luther because it's so much. He's so involved with that character. I would never close the door on it. I was like,
I hope not, man. I'm definitely gonna get caught up on this and check it out because I see it, man. I see why you fell in love with it. I see why it's so popular overseas. It's hopefully this might be the thing that maybe brings it big in America because it really wasn't that big in America because I heard so it, but it was never.
It was so hard to find.
But Same thing like Sherlock with Cumberbatch. You know, like it's super huge over there. Over here, it's not. You know, and it was like you said because it was so hard to find. But you know, a great show.
Watch this. I remember the first time I watched Luther. Not too much of a tangent, but first time I watched Luther, my mom was telling me about it. I was like, I'll check it out. And I watched the first episode. I was like, all right, what happened next? And then I watched the second episode. I was like, all right, how much more in this is the season? I watched 3, and then by the time the sun came up, I was on season 3, and I was just going through them like it was nothing, and it was so good, and he kept me interested the entire time, and the storyline was great. And I think once you give it a chance, and Idris Elba is such a good actor. He's such a good actor. I want him to do anything. If you want to be old man T'Challa, he can be old man T'Challa. I don't care what he is. I want him as everything. Give me Idris Elba all the time.
Yeah. I mean, that's why it's a very, very rare L for like Dark Tower was kind of a rare L for him. But for the most part, man, he hits home runs all the time. You know. So yeah, no, like Bryon said, Sherlock was the shit. It was, man. It was. You know, and that's why I was like, they know how to make good shows. You know, like Sherlock, I binged it. And then I might binge this now.
Great noir films. Be careful. Like I watched it on a Thursday. I did not sleep. I went to work on Friday, came home, took a quick nap, and then watched the rest of it. It was so funny. Oh man.
Yeah. But I don't any so I know a lot of good things. I think we both love this one. Any bad things on this one?
The stories, like if you've watched all the episodes, all the other shows, all the other seasons, the storyline just wasn't as good as some of the other seasons. So season 3 and season 4 are so good.
Yeah,
they're so good. They're like, you look at it, it's like, man, it's a good standalone, and that's what they did. They tried to make a movie that you can watch standalone, and but the storylines and some of the other ones were better. You know, it's like you're only upset by how good it already was.
Yeah,
that's literally what I'll be upset with. And they didn't explain all the stuff that he's done in the past. I think he probably should have done that.
Yeah. Well, I mean, see, like none of that affected me because I don't know anything else about him. So I'm trying to like just stick to this one. It does get a little much at the end, you know, when everything finally comes together and you figure everything out. You're like, oh damn! So it's like if you missed a part, like even like a small part, you know, you could be lost at the end. So it did do a lot.
Noir films are. If you missed this small detail back there, you're not going to know exactly what's going on.
Yeah, which I think for me it was not technically a bad part, but I can see it for the general audience. It's like, especially it being on Netflix, is people put on Netflix and it's usually background kind of things, you know, unless you specifically sit down and watch it. So I could see it being like, oh man, I'm gonna run to the bathroom, but let it play, don't pause it, you know, and you come back, you're like, wait, who's that? You know, so you know, but you know, it wasn't a bad thing because it is like a trope in these kind of detective kind of things where like every little thing matters. but the ending when everything came together was a little much, because even myself, I was starting to question. I'm like, wait, so why did he do this? Like, I had to sit there and think. I'm like, oh, okay, he's just fucking evil. He's just a evil bad guy, Like,
a sociopath does things because they're a sociopath. That's just what it is.
Yeah, so yeah.
I have one thing. Idris Elba that looks like he looks like Kevin Durant in hair. He looks like he doesn't own a brush, and he still looks good. I don't understand it. It doesn't make any damn sense. Damn it, Idris, how do you do that? I don't understand. He doesn't brush his hair the entire movie, and he's probably the best looking dude in the world.
He's the kind of guy that could pull off that just woke up look. You know what I mean?
All the time.
Like a permanent 5 o'clock shadow, or like a 2 a.m. shadow where it's like nice and thick, got a little bit of gray in there. Like I said, doesn't brush his hair, but he's that kind of guy who can pull off that look. You know what I mean? Like, put a tie on, but it's loose. Keep the top one undone and throw on a jacket. It just looks badass.
He always wears his little tweed coat.
Yeah,
always. Everything he always has a tweed coat. That's why they dry clean the tweed suit and they put it up in the closet. Like, we need that.
That's funny. That's funny. But yeah, he's definitely a badass. He's a great actor, man. He's so good. Like, them not casting him as 007 is so stupid. But you know what? I kind of rather see him doing this, because I think he might have more control of what this character could do than a 007, and he can go and he can get crazy with it if he really wants to. Like, they really left it open.
Tank, just watch those other seasons, and you're gonna realize that they're never gonna kill this character. You'll see how far they've gone and how crazy he's gone and how far they brought him back, and they're never gonna kill him because it's just so good. It could go anywhere, and he could go anywhere. And if Luther, I thought they were going to do is have Luther come to the United States, and then start a whole new chapter. And maybe they do.
That'd be interesting. Maybe eventually, yeah. I could see him. Like, I could legit really see this becoming a 007 type of thing. Like, once he's done, maybe he's done acting. He's like, you know what? I'm too old. I can't do this stuff anymore. It was like, and then somebody else is like, hey, we want to make a Luther movie. Cool, make him Luther. And then it kind of starts a new trend of like, who's the new Luther?
You better have swag for days, and you better be 60.
Yeah, right. yeah. So but this one definitely, like damn. Like, a movie's good when I can go. I want to go back and watch 5 seasons of it now. It's like that's where this movie put me at.
All right. So Rotten Tomatoes right now, the tomato meter, the critics 88 reviews only have it as a 67.
It's crazy.
The audience has it at 85. And later the critics say longtime fans would be happy to have more Idris Elba's brilliance as a detective, but Luther's fallen son is fairly uninspired addition to the case files because he's been so good before. It is one of the best series ever created on TV, and that's its only real downfall.
Yeah.
So it says its only good downfall is that it was 100% before. So like this is not 100%. So we're not gonna. It's not worth it. Really?
Yeah.
That's what the critics. And then the fans say, if you can forgive a storyline that could have been better, Luther Fallen Son has plenty of everything the fans want in a show and everything we've been looking for. It says Idris Elba is brilliant.
Yeah. So like some of the bad ones though, it's kind of like what I was saying. So this one from the UK said Crosses, which is the creator, this one Neil Cross. Cross's plot doesn't so much thicken as coagulate into nonsense. And that's what I kind of mean is like at the end a lot of stuff comes together and it could be a little much for people. That's why even like for me, I had to stop and think, I'm like, wait, why did he do this? I'm like, oh, okay, it makes sense. Like he just went Joker mode, kind of, So
I thought more for me was that people weren't gonna like it because it's compared to a TV show. When you compare it to a TV show, you could really flesh out the entire character, everything about everything. In a movie, you have to have a plot and you have to get to the point and you have to get to the end. They're just not used to seeing this character having,
in that like style of storytelling.
Yeah, we have to go to the next thing. Instead, because most of Luther is like, we're going to go through every little piece, and it's going to be so good. At the end, you're going to be like, how did I not see it?
Yeah.
How did I not, but they didn't do this with this one,
Yeah.
But Luther is
it's a movie,
Yeah. Luther is such a thing that you just want your fix. You just need your fix of Luther. That's what it's almost like you're a drug addict and you're like, I need another hit. And when you're on that level, this is a perfect movie for you. It's just getting you another hit to get to the next step. And I hope they do another Luther. I really do.
Yeah, I liked it. So some of the bad ones are kind of silly too. So this one from Decider said it's unrelenting, grim and humorless, but hey, at least it's handsome, right? I was like, was there supposed to be humor in this? Because I don't what I'm like, and yeah, it's unrelenting. Oh man, I like stuff for y'all. So grim and humorless. I'm like, that's what it is. It's supposed to be grim and humorless.
Film.
Yeah. I'm like, what are you talking about? Yeah, some of them are a little like much like the twisted script doesn't offer compelling turns. Then again, the filmmaker dreamt up a sprinkler system that sprays kerosene. So there's that. I was like, really? That's what bothered you? There's kerosene?
That's easy to do.
Yeah.
You know, sprinkler systems come from water. All you do is put
any liquid
right there and put it in there, and it'll spray whatever the hell you want to spray.
Yeah. And it also makes sense. It was like, what do you do with the mess when you're done? You just burn it to the ground. Exactly. Turn it to ash. I was like, yeah. So yeah, it made sense. Like that's what he was gonna do. And he was like a pyro kind of maniac too. Everything he did was set on fire. So yeah. I don't know. Some of the negative reviews are a little, somebody who actually seems like is like I can watch and rewatch the first 3 seasons of Luther endlessly, but Fallen Sun is a fine reminder why I stopped.
You know what? It's hard when you start. You guys are gonna watch the beginning of Luther, the first 3 seasons with him. The thing between him and Alice, it's just this thing between them that it's they're so good, they're so well balanced, and Ruth Wilson is amazing. And I'm telling you, guys, you'll see it and you're going to agree. Ruth Wilson is it. And matter of fact, I wouldn't be surprised to make another Luther movie, and they bring Alice back
with her.
Yeah.
But
this is just to kind of get people on this Luther train and understand what it is. And if you get cooked, be careful.
It got me. I'm hooked because that was good. That was really damn good. So I liked it. So I guess that's a good segue into our ratings, right?
Yep.
Oh man.
So what do we have? Yeah. Where we're going to rate it? Where is it? All right. So here at the Spoiler Kings, we rate things a little bit differently. We do it with 3 different categories. We got now. You need to stop everything you're doing right now and watch this movie. We got later. When you ever get a chance, it's background music and background noise. As you're washing dishes, whatever, you can watch this when streaming. And you should never put it on your TV. Matter of fact, you should destroy your TV right now so you never have to have the worry of putting it on your TV. So with that being said, where would you rate Luther?
Man, I'm gonna put this now. If you like action, if you like puzzle plots and good not who done it, but like why they're like really good versus evil. But in this case, the good is kind of bad, so it's kind of like like bad versus evil. But it was definitely a now, man. It was so good. Idris Elba being like peak Idris Elba, Andy Serkis being a complete evil villain. I thought it was a lot of fun, and I never seen any of Luther. You just always hyped it up, and I was like, okay, yeah. But this, after watching this, 100% on the hype train for Luther. I am gonna watch all 5 seasons. I want another one. I want another movie like soon because it was good. The action was so good. Like he was just whooping ass and taking a hit, getting up and doing like all these like crazy stuff. And it wasn't like too like
he got stabbed. Guess what?
Yeah,
he bled.
He went super glue. and then kept going. Yeah, so it was super cool. It was really really well done. Now I would put this as of now. Well, was it March 20th? This is maybe top 3 of the best movie. Maybe I would say my second favorite movie of the year. Second favorite movie of the year so far.
I am right there with you. I am right there with you. I feel like this is my second favorite movie all year.
Yeah.
Idris Elba. I love Idris Elba. I love the character. I didn't mind the storyline because him just being Luther is enough. Him just doing whatever he's gonna do. He could be walking around the streets of London. It's enough for me. And that's basically what it is. It is so very good. It's definitely a now. But more than anything, this entire series is a now. So like if you guys insomnia, at any point in time you have insomnia, guess what you need to do? Start Luther. No matter. You won't go to sleep because you won't be able to, because you're gonna watch the entire series.
Yeah.
Right there. So go ahead and hit it up and let us know what you think. Watch it. Jump in the comments. I want to hear what everyone thinks about this one, because this one is one of my favorites. Please go do it. So yeah, I definitely have it as a super now. It's like a now with a cape on it.
Yeah. Just kicks all the other ones out. Just now. Yeah. Yeah. It was good. It was good.
Anything else you got here? Because I already kind of said my thing.
No. You got Martin making fun
of guys. Well, I love Luther. I'm so glad we were able to talk about this. As I said, this is our review. Please hit the like button so we can know that you like what we're doing. We can put more content like this. I could maybe do a review of the other seasons of Luther. We could talk about all those type of things. But let us know you like it. Put get in the comments. We're on our way to 1,000. I think we're at 778 right now, or 779. We're on our way to 1,000. So please hit the notification button buzzer so we know we're going, and subscribe so we can get to 1,000. So I appreciate you guys coming in. I appreciate Tank doing this review with me. It was awesome.
Yeah, it was awesome.
Yeah. Anything else before we go?
Nah, that's about it.
Well, thank you guys, and we will see you the next topic.